That's the Dinner in Hell band playing us in. We are here, as always, in front of a live studio audience.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And okay, we do have a show to get to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Dinner in Hell, the podcast where we talk about history's atrocious underbelly. I'm your host, Brad the Impaler, and with me, as always, is your friend and mine, the real Ron Maiden.
Hello, friends. And please, Brad, enlighten me on what is our dinner item tonight.
Well, for dinner tonight, Ron will be having beef.
What type of beef?
Beef like from a bull.
Okay, what type of bull? Moose? Bull?
Well, it's roast beef. It's fancy.
Okay.
Roast beef. Like at a wedding.
Okay. I can think
And
it.
not buffet style. None of that cheap shit.
Wait, we're talking an actual plate of beef, or is this some kind of metaphor for something else we're going to talk about?
There's no beef.
It's beef related.
But there's a bull.
Okay.
A brazen bull.
Oh, sweet. I was hoping we'd talk about this.
Most of the information we're going to be relying on tonight comes to us from Diodorus Siculus' Bibliotheca Historia. He wrote that somewhere between 60 to 30 BCE. It's called the Bibliotheca because it's sort of a compilation. He references lots of other writers and other works, and it's meant to be as universal a history as was possible for him to put together. It's meant trusted. To be, a full history of the world, as much information as Diodorus Siculus could pull together.
Cool.
And included in there is the story that we're going to talk about, the Bull of Sicily.
AKA?
The Brazen Bull. All right, so the first thing we need to do to get into this topic is talk about a few of the major players of the story we'll be focusing on. Phalaris.
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 We plan on pronouncing his name as many different ways as possible today. Plan on it.
So Phalaris is one of the next characters we're going to talk about. He was the tyrant of the Greek city-state of Agrigento on the south coast of Sicily. One important thing to mention is when they use the word tyrant, it's not considered the insult like we would use the word tyrant today. It has a neutral connotation. It just means an absolute ruler.
Right, kept things in check.
However, for the guy we're talking about today, that modern interpretation of tyrant definitely applies.
Sure, he kept things in check. That didn't mean he wasn't doing awful shit in his chambers either.
Yeah.
At the dinner table.
Yeah. Well, first, Agrigento correlates to modern-day Agrigento, Sicily. So it's a place you could theoretically go visit. Mm-hmm. You could, if you walked around long enough, you'd probably walk through the actual spot that this happened.
Okay.
He managed to take control of the entire island of Sicily, and he reigned from 570 BCE to 554 BCE. He had a lot of support, though. He was elected to be the supreme leader when he took control of the whole island.
Okay.
A lot of people were his subjects, and they elected him, so he must have been doing some shit right. But we don't really want to talk about what he's doing right.
There's legends.
Yeah, he did some stuff. Like the things he did right were he's managed to supply water, make access to water much more widespread, and he strengthened the city militarily and defensively.
Okay.
However, there's also reports of him eating suckling babies for dinner, human being babies.
I don't think I can even bring myself to eat suckling pig, which is like a delicacy in Spain. Okay,
that I don't think I'd have a problem with, but I don't think that gets me any closer to eating a suckling baby.
Suckling baby. Now, whose baby? Servants? People?
I assume it would just be whoever. I don't know. This guy seemed to be extraordinarily brutal.
Yeah. Imagine being a pregnant lady back then, like trying to keep your out of the tyrant's sight, or of his men too. Like, find me a pregnant woman.
Yeah, especially like an hour or so before dinner time when he's really hungry.
Okay, you did it. You got me there.
That could be a Snickers commercial.
Jesus Christ.
Phalaris, stop eyeballing that baby.
St. Louis style baby.
You're such an asshole when you're hungry. Here, have a Snickers. Do you think Snickers is going to sponsor us now?
Yeah, different barbecue ribs. You know what I mean? Like, oh, how do you like them? Dry rub, St. Louis, baby back. You're like, can you do this suckling baby back for me? Think you do that?
Literally, can I have the literal baby back?
Not baby back, but like, just give me a nice, St. Louis style barbecue sauce on that. Lather it. I mean.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the Mediterranean, so it'd be nice and spicy, rich, earthy.
And if you're still listening and you're still with us, we are talking about ways to prepare baby.
Well, Phalaris evidently was. This is the kind of guy that we're dealing with.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, his brutality is sort of the reason for this story. But now we have to talk about our next leading character. Our next character is Perilos of Athens. So he was a Greek inventor, sculptor, and
bronzesmith,
bronzesmith.
coppersmith or bronzesmith. One of the two.
Probably. I don't know anything about his work with copper.
He's handy, and he was imaginative.
So Perilos had come to Agrigento, and he made an offering to Phalaris. And included in this offering was a sculpture of a bull made of bronze.
Okay.
But then he revealed that there were some extra ingenuity tucked into this sculpture that he had made for Phalaris. In the Bibliotheca Historia, Diodorus writes, "The brazen bull. Perilos had fashioned in bronze the contrivance of the bull, making small sounding pipes in the nostrils and fitting a door for an opening in the bull's side. And this bull he brings as a present to Phalaris." So let's talk about it. What do you think that opening in the side's for, Ron?
So I'm Phalaris. Let's take it back to Phalaris. Let's say, what's the man's name that's the inventor? How do you pronounce it?
All right, so you're Phalaris, and I'm Perilos of Athens.
Okay, and you just walk in, and you're presenting to me this big-ass bull. And I'm like, cool bull. Like, seriously, this is all you got? And then you're like, no, my man.
Yeah, Phalaris, my dude. I know. I have some understanding of your proclivities, you know.
What have you heard?
I heard you like to eat fucking babies for dinner.
Okay, that's all hearsay. Unless you're one of my men.
Well, anyway.
And my cook.
I really think you're going to love this.
Okay, I'm looking at a sculpture of a bull that's enormous. Like the size that you could possibly maybe fit inside. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty badass. Badass bull, right?
Right.
But wait, there's more. Check out this door here.
On the side. Okay.
Yeah. When one of your subjects angers you for whatever reason, you just cram them in here and light a fire underneath.
Okay, what if I just disagree with their religion? Is that good enough?
Sounds good enough to me.
Okay. You put a person in here, you close it, this door here, and you lock it.
Light the fire.
And
you
there's
know
a
what?
room for a fire below it.
And you might say, what would a bull like this cost? 3 easy payments of $99.95? Or 4 easy payments of $76.95?
Yeah, I get estimate on freight shipping for that thing, too.
But wait.
Okay.
There's more.
Okay.
I have fashioned little sounding pipes into the nostrils of this bull.
Why?
Because that way, when the person screams of torment, it'll just sound like the bellowing of a bull.
Yeah, because that was one of my bugaboos. Like when I'm sitting in my chair and I'm roasting, this person, I'm not going to want to hear, help me, I'm inside, I'm on fire, melting, my skin's peeling off. It's crazy.
No, think of the spectacle.
So the screens will be turned into what sounds like music? The
bellowing of the bull.
Okay, so like it'll actually sound like a bull.
Yeah, it'll sound like a real bull.
So if you're like, it'd be like,
it's gonna blow everybody away. All of your guests, all of your prisoners.
I gotta say,
everybody.
Here's my thing though, is like, I can't believe you came up with this idea. I can't believe that you had this thought and this thing. Like, it almost seems like you're more vile than me. And to be honest with you, that offends me because I feel like I'm the most vile in all this island. You following me? So I want you to prove to me, if you go inside this bowl and scream your head off, I want to actually see if your little sound mechanism works.
I don't know about that.
Okay, no, I'm the boss here. It's not like I'm asking you to. So get inside.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Jesus who isn't around yet.
So oh, Jesus in the future. Future Jesus, help me. If only that bright star in the sky had a meaning. So Phalaris has this man, the inventor, get inside because he's like almost like feeling like at one hand he's he can't believe this guy really had this thought of this awful invention, and the other hand he's like
probably just excited to use it,
and he wants to like one up this guy, like, oh yeah, you invented it, well guess what, I'm the guy that's got the inventor that's going to go in it for the first victim.
Yeah, so Phalaris did in fact bite the hand that feeds and crammed Paralos in there.
Yep. Locked the door, had his men light a fire, and then there was Paralos inside, first victim in the invention that he made himself.
Well, I don't think Paralos is aware of this beforehand, but after he crawled in through the door into that bull, Phalaris set the fire underneath it.
Now, you really think Phalaris, who's like the leader, is doing this, setting the fire, or do you think he had like a couple guys get the fire together? Come on.
He's probably issuing commands.
He's like, yeah, bring me a fire that's already in the fire room where fires are always going.
Yeah, something like that.
Go to the bakery, get me some fire.
Or maybe they're all just standing around with torches or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after he heard how it worked, after Phalaris heard the screams of Paralos under the torment of the heat make the bull sound like it was bellowing, he decided that he didn't want the man's death to pollute the bronze.
What do you mean, like leave a coating inside?
Yeah, it still hadn't been dedicated to the gods apparently, so he didn't want to taint the bull.
Imagine being the person's job is to empty the brazen bowl.
Yeah,
like,
you're like the priest, like the whatever that he's commanding to take care of all his like sacrificial ornaments or whatever.
You got to go in with like a squeegee and like like the person that's in charge of cleaning the brazen bowl is like terrified to actually get in it because they know that there's a chance that Phalaris is gonna be like click, like lock the door on him behind him.
Yeah, you try to like put it at the end of your to-do list so your boss isn't around while you're doing it.
Do it during dinner when you know he's not going to be in the room. He's going to be down on the dinner table and you're upstairs like, okay, this is the only time I got like a 15-minute window.
Yeah. God, that'd be... I got to tell you, I don't think a squeegee would get the job done, Ron.
Yeah. It'd just be like, just awful inside.
So before Paralos died, Phalaris yanks him out of there and then throws him off a cliff.
Like, I just got you. Look at my face. It's the last face.
And one of the strange things about this to me is the cliff part. Because presumably they weren't having this presentation of gifts right on the edge of a cliff. They probably, instead of just like cutting his throat or whatever the quickest way would have been to execute Paralos, they drag him all the way to some cliff and throw him off of it. The fuck is that for?
And you can still visit that cliff today.
Yeah, I assume it's still there.
Just kidding.
I don't know what one it is, but I mean, we know where Sicily's at. We could go there.
You go to, you fly into Sicily and you find a taxi cab driver and you're like, I want to go where Perilous Cliff was, where he's thrown off. And the cab's like, why?
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
It's a cliff, dumbass.
What are you going to find there? Some old roasted skull? Perilous? Sick bastard. Get out of my cab.
There is one more character that we need to discuss in our story of the original Brazen Bull here, and it is Telemachus. Telemachus was a leader of an uprising within Agrigento, and he deposed Phalaris, the tyrant who sort of took possession of the first bronze bowl after he executed its inventor. And he himself was roasted in the bronze bowl after he was deposed. It was a little poetic for someone so cruel, I think. Telemachus put Phalaris in the bronze bowl himself.
Oh, Phalaris?
Yeah, he himself went out roasting inside it. So since Phalaris meets his poetic end in the belly of the brazen bull, I thought to myself when I was researching this, like, yeah, it sounds horrible, but what would it actually be like to burn to death, presumably relatively slowly? Because I think the bull would shield them from the poisonous gases that are generally going to kill you pretty quickly from a death involving fire.
Yeah, like people that were burned at the stake, I think lost consciousness before their bodies were even burned because of the smoke from the wood. Mm-hmm. So this bowl is going to protect you from any kind of like fumes.
Well, I did find some information about CO2 levels and how long it would take you to suffocate in, say, a sealed room.
Like a sealed room, like a bedroom?
Yes, evidently, you wouldn't die from running out of oxygen. You would die from overexposure to carbon dioxide.
Okay. Your exhale.
Mm-hmm. Regular atmospheric air contains 21% or so oxygen, and a level of 4% of CO2 is considered immediately dangerous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're panicking inside this bowl, if we're talking best case scenario, no fire and plugged holes, your best case scenario would be to just die of your own exhale.
Mm-hmm.
Poison yourself with your own exhale.
Yep.
Interesting. So if you put a bag over your head or did it that way, that's probably...
Yeah, that would be the fastest. If you could smuggle in plastic to ancient Greece,
yeah,
then
so
you can just put that over your head when they put you in the bowl and you'll be dead. And
time machine scenario.
You'll be out in 30 seconds. So if you're ever going to give... We give practical advice here. And if you're ever going to be thrown back into a time machine and executed via brazen bull... we recommend you bring a plastic bag to suffocate yourself with before it can get really bad.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to take a time machine, like in Scaphism, when I was going to give the guy bug spray. Episode 1, check it out, SoundCloud. I would go back in time, go to the dungeon, be like, you're next in the bowl. And he's like, that's right. And I'll be like, take this plastic Meyer bag, shove it in your loincloth when you go in, over your head, and don't let go. I got you.
Yeah, I think our advice for all of these is going to be try to kill yourself in a less painful way beforehand.
Right.
I'm pretty sure if I were transported to that time and place, I would just immediately kill myself.
I would just, hide. I don't know.
Everything just seems so much worse.
Yeah, I'd be nocturnal.
Seems very dangerous.
I would only go around at night and shit. Wear dark clothes. I would never light a fire.
I'd probably make for the fucking wilderness and try to somehow survive on my own. Can't trust any of these people.
If you ever light a fire, you know there's going to be smoke in the sky above where you're at, and they're going to want to know whose fire that is. So it's like...
gotta find a cave.
It's just awful times.
Yeah, goddamn. These people running around with all this power, just torturing people. It's horrifying.
No one is safe from all ages. No one is safe from infant to...
That's been made clear. You're either going to be a present or dinner.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to us on Twitter... we're there at Dinner in Hell Pod. If you'd like to email us, you can get in touch with us at dinnerinhellpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can come see us at www.dinnerinhellpodcast.com. And as always, please rate and subscribe on iTunes. Thank you and have a good night.
And let's give it another round of applause for the Dinner in Hell band.
Yeah, thank you.